We put all the Big Ten teams into a tournament on NCAA Football 14 with updated rosters for the 2024 season, and we're going to see exactly how it played out. So let's get right into it. A couple of play-in games to start. We got Purdue versus Michigan State. Michigan State up 13-7, low-scoring game here in the fourth quarter. And keep in mind, these games were simulated a couple of weeks ago, so there may be some roster changes with all the new transfers that happened at the end of spring. But you see Michigan State here. It's Chili's, the redshirt freshman quarterback coming in from Oregon State. Following his head coach, he makes a nice run there. And then it's Michigan State actually been able to get the ball back and run the clock out, and they're going to advance. So the Spartans get the win, 19-14 over Purdue. We had a crazy game in the other play-in game. Indiana hitting the field goal here to tie this game at 37. It would send it to overtime. In overtime number one, it's Indiana running it into the end zone. They're up 44-37, but Illinois answers right back. And so we're going to go to overtime number two. And keep in mind, this game's old, and we've got the old overtime rules here. Illinois scores the touchdown there. They're up 51-44. And then Indiana will answer right back. So back and forth we go. We're going to overtime number three. Indiana with it, and again, it's the quarterback taking it into the end zone. So now they'll go for two again with the old rules. They get it, so they go up 59-51. Illinois on fourth and goal, trying to keep this game alive, and they do not get into the end zone. Indiana holds them off, and the Hoosiers will win, and they will advance to the first round. So we see Indiana and Michigan State win the play-in games. Now this is the bracket, and we're going to get right into the round one game, starting with Michigan State at Ohio State. All right, let's see what happened in this one. 7-3, Ohio State up in this one, second quarter, running it in. It's Travion Henderson as they add to their lead. Michigan State trying to come back, fourth down and goal, looking, and they'll get into the end zone. So all of a sudden, we've got a close game here, 14-10 in the second half. Howard there completes that pass, and the Buckeyes get into the end zone, and they're up 21-13. Then they'll score again against Michigan State hung around in this game, but it was not enough. 28-19 the final score. Ohio State will advance to round number two. Next, we've got Washington versus Northwestern. This one was a good one. Northwestern pulling within 7 with that touchdown. It's 31-24. And now Washington with it. 3rd and 1, really just trying to run the clock out, and he is going to not get that first down. They try a long field goal, and it's going to be good. So that's going to pretty much put this game away. Northwestern not quite out of it yet. They get this touchdown. They will need an onside kick. Can they get it? No, they do not get the onside kick. I'd say on this game, on these simulations, probably about 5% of the time onside kicks are successful. But obviously it wasn't here in this one, so we'll see Washington advance to play Ohio State. Next up, we've got Michigan hosting UCLA. UCLA with the touchdown here. It's 17-12. They'll go for two, trying to pull off the upset. It's now 17-14. Michigan with the ball here. Handoff, getting it into the end zone. It's Mullings, and Michigan is up by 10. 4th and goal here for UCLA, trying to hang around in this game, and they get the touchdown. So this one's not over. Michigan, though, they're trying to end it, and on 3rd down, trying to pick up a first down. They're not going to come close. They had to punt it, and now UCLA with the ball with a chance. It's 4th down. That's batted away, though, and it's Michigan's defense rising up, getting the stop, and the Wolverines will escape with a win, 24-21, as Michigan wins this game. Next, we've got Rutgers on the road at Iowa. I'll see what happened in this one. 20-13, Rutgers down, but coming back as Calac Manis will score, and it's 20-20. Iowa here in trouble. They get stopped, and Rutgers going to get the ball back with a chance to possibly take the lead in this game. That pass is complete, and they're all the way into Iowa territory. They wind up getting a field goal out of it. It's a long one, but it's good, and Rutgers up 23-20. Now Iowa with the ball, 3rd and 4. McNamara in trouble, going to be sacked. Makes it 4th down and 12. Got to convert, and they will not. And Rutgers defense stepping up and getting a big stop. Not quite over. They had some timeouts, but Rutgers winds up scoring, and they get the touchdown, and they put this one away. 30-27 the final score. Iowa did score a touchdown with just a few seconds left, but Rutgers will win it 30-27 again, the final score. All right, Indiana versus Oregon. Indiana coming off of their play-in game win and looking good early, up 20-7. Could they pull off the shocking upset? How about this? Right at the end of the half, another touchdown. Missed tackles, Indiana putting it on the Ducks. And can Oregon come back? Now down 13, fourth quarter, they get this touchdown to pull within 6. Indiana ball. They're trying to run this clock out. And how about the offense for the Hoosiers? This is the biggest upset we've had in any of our spring tournaments, probably, maybe ever, as Indiana is going to upset Oregon, the 2 seed, 33-21, a shocking upset here in round 1. Let's see who they'll play. We have Nebraska versus USC next. USC looking good. Miller Moss runs it in. It's 27-17, and then this late touchdown would really put this game away. So we're going to see the Trojans advance, 34-24, the final score here. All right, who else is going to make it to round 2? We've got Minnesota, Penn State. Very, very low-scoring game. Right before the half, Minnesota actually gets a field goal to go up 13-6. And again, a lot of defense in this game. Penn State with it now. Drew Aller looking to the end zone. That's caught for the touchdown. And Malik McClain, I think he actually is transferred. So that's what I was talking about with these rosters. I know Lambert Smith is gone. So Penn State here gets a field goal to make it 19-13. But Minnesota would have a chance. They do get stopped, though, on 4th down, and they're not going to win it. Penn State will survive. An ugly game, 19-13. Who will they play? We've got Maryland and Wisconsin up next. 14-0. Wisconsin looking good, up 21-0. It's now still 21-0, third quarter, and Wisconsin playing maybe the best game we see in the first round. Will Pauling with a touchdown there, 34-7, the final score. So Wisconsin will win, Badgers will advance, and a couple of surprises here in the first round. But we're going to see Ohio State versus Washington, Michigan, Rutgers, Oregon versus USC. Actually, that should be Indiana versus USC, and then Penn State versus Wisconsin. It was so shocking that Indiana beat Oregon that I actually screwed up my graphic there. So I apologize for that. Indiana not getting the credit that they deserve. They did beat Oregon again in that huge upset. Buckeyes looking to maybe pull away here against Washington, up 34-17. Late in the third quarter now, Ohio State scores again. There goes Judkins, and 51-17 would be the final score. So a pretty easy win for Ohio State. Not so easy for Michigan as they are struggling here against Rutgers. And look at Rutgers. They're actually going to take the lead. They're up 20-16. Michigan in trouble now, 26-16. Rutgers was playing great football. Donovan Edwards, though, runs it into the end zone there to give Michigan, or to pull them within 3. Actually, they're still down. Orji, though, with a beautiful ball there as Morgan will make the catch for the touchdown. Michigan up 30-26, and then later on, they're actually going to get stopped here. But, they're starting to dominate the game. They do get held to a field goal. It's a 7-point game now. Rutgers does have time. And so here we go. They get down the field with 30 seconds left. They get into the end zone. It looks like we might be going to overtime. Michigan just going to go conservative and do a little screen pass and watch what happens. A fumble on the play? Are you kidding me? Rutgers defense makes a huge play. And just take a look. We got a replay on this one. Just a great hit right as he's turning upfield. Big hit. Ball comes out. Sets Rutgers up for the game-winning field goal. And how about another big upset in this tournament as Rutgers will beat Michigan and the Scarlet Knights will advance to the Final Four to play Ohio State. So a big shocker there as, again, we didn't see a lot of upsets in the SEC spring tournament, but we have seen them here in the Big Ten tournament. All right, next up we've got USC hosting Indiana. And you see the Trojans up 13-9. And there is the speed of USC as they will take it all the way. And they're up 23-12. Indiana not going away, though. This Indiana team, I'm telling you, I think they could be a surprise team in real life. And they're showing it in these simulations. Just not quite enough, though, here to beat USC as they'll score the touchdown. And the Trojans will take care of business here. 37-19. So the Cinderella story ends after just one win for Indiana. All right, next we've got Wisconsin, who looked great in the first round, going up against Penn State, who struggled in the first round. And this one was close. A touchdown there ties it up. We're tied at 17. Late in the third quarter now. Defense is playing great. Wisconsin getting the ball here in the fourth quarter, and they'll get all the way down to about the 1 yard line. They wind up kicking a field goal, though. And Penn State, their defense keeping them in this game. The offense not doing a whole lot to help. Stop there for Wisconsin. They come down. This time they're stopped again at the goal line, and they settle for another field goal. So this leaves the door open for Penn State, but not a lot of time is remaining. Drew Aller firing for the Hail Mary. This is the ball game. It's incomplete, and Wisconsin will win. Badgers looking very good in the first two rounds. So your Final Four is set. Not exactly what I would have predicted, but Ohio State, Rutgers, USC versus Wisconsin. Ohio State up by 7 here against Rutgers, and they're going to get a touchdown. It's Egbuka, so they're up 24-10. And now it's the run game as they'll get into the end. Actually, Jeremiah Smith, the wide receiver, taking it in, and they wound up blowing this one wide open, 59-17. So Ohio State very impressive here in this tournament. Next, we've got USC versus Wisconsin, two teams that have also been impressive as Joyner runs it in. USC's up 21-10 late second quarter. Wisconsin scores. It's now 27-17. And there goes Tyler Van Dyke into the end zone. Looks like we're going to have this one come down to the wire. USC, though, on the ground. Woody Marks scores. It's 34-24. Now late third quarter, Wisconsin with it. And Van Dyke again showing the legs. It's 37-31 now. And this touchdown was big because it put USC up 2 scores and not a lot of time remaining. But Wisconsin not going away. They scored a touchdown here. It's 43-38. And now USC going back to the ground game. They were very good on the ground in this one as Woody Marks will pick up the first down. And you can see that the clock is ticking away. This first down would end it. In fact, it's going to be a touchdown. So USC will actually wind up winning by 12, 50-38. So we've got USC versus Ohio State in the championship. USC getting the touchdown here at 7-3. Second quarter now, Buckeyes will score. They will take the lead. 13-7 the score. They score again, 20-7. Ohio State looking like they might run away with it, but USC hanging around. Miller Moss here, he's going to take off and run, and he gets into the end zone. It's 20-17 now. USC with a field goal, so we would be tied here at 20. And after a stop, USC gets the ball back. A beautiful pass there, and the Trojans come all the way back and take the lead. Under a minute to play, fourth down. Ohio State with it. They're going to get stopped. It's a huge stop from the USC defense, and USC will win our Big Ten spring tournament 27-20. Felt like Ohio State was going to roll again, but no, the Trojans come back and they win. So a bit of an upset there in the championship. But yes, USC, your Big Ten spring tournament champions.